Okay, so today we are going to study about what is the topic for the day? Personality development. Okay, one by one, all of you can unmute, and a few of you can tell me what do you understand by personality development. Any one or two students? I'll not take much of the time. You can unmute yourself and all, please. Okay, what do you understand? Development of a person's psyche. Yeah, good. Carry on. Yeah, okay. How do you share the screen? ये था ना? Okay, so we'll go one by one. Introduction. Now let me go to the introduction first. What exactly do you understand by personality development? You see, you must have heard this thing that the first impression is the last impression. But I believe that the first impression is the lasting impression. You understand the difference between last and lasting? It is the totality of the person and not just the external looks. Okay? Character, behavior, character, and attitude towards the life. Now, what do you understand by this? You see, a personality of a person is a complete package. It is not that how you look, it is also how you feel inside. It is not how you feel inside, but it is also you express yourself. Then it is not only how you express it yourself, it is how you present yourself, isn't it? So it is a complete package. Now the next question comes that can is it inbuilt? Personality development is inbuilt or can it be developed? It can be both. You see, there are certain characteristics which are inbuilt, but there are certain characteristics which you can inculcate, which you can build up by various aspects. Actually speaking, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this particular subject, this particular topic is the most neglected topic of an aspiring candidate. We generally focus on our professional subject, but at the last moment we try and inculcate कि अच्छा इंटरव्यू होगा तो हमें क्या करना है, हमें कैसे घुसना है, कैसे बैठना है, कैसे चलना है, कौन से कपड़े पहने, कैसे करें, हमें गाइड करो. Okay, but you must remember one thing, that personality development is not just a day's work or a few hours issue. You see, you have to build into yourself. उसके लिए मेहनत करना पड़ेगा आपको, उसके लिए आपको इन टोटलिटी इन्वॉल्व होना पड़ेगा. इट इज नॉट जस्ट वन और टू थिंग्स. ओके, okay, what do you mean by personality development? It is improving and grooming one's outer appearance, means how you look and your body language, and it also involves the inner self, that is the emotions, thinking ability, self confidence, ability to learn, attitude, and to bring about a positive change in your life, right? Every individual has got his own personality, every individual has got its own persona. Okay. Now that needs to be developed and polished. It is an everyday affair. ऐसे नहीं आप बोल सकते कि अब मैं तो बस हो गया अभी total. Every day you learn new things. Every day. I'm not very comfortable with this thing. No? Now, why do we study? Why should we study personality development? हमें उसके लिए एक अलग से क्लास क्यों चाहिए? हमें उसके लिए अलग से लेक्चर्स क्यों चाहिए? Okay. Now, personality development, it enables you to create a good impression. Like we just said that the first impression is the last impression or the lasting impression. We can have a debate on that. We can understand on that. I hope everybody is comfortable in English. Anybody who's not comfortable in English? Okay. We'll continue. It helps in your, it helps to build and develop relationships. Now, when we talk of relationships, it can be professional relationships, it can be personal relationships, and there are various other relationships which you come across day to day. So, how you behave yourself, how you conduct yourself, what is your personality matters a lot. It matters definitely in your personal matters. बिकॉज जनरली क्या होता है कि हम जो है इसको अवॉइड कर लेते हैं. हम अवॉइड क्या कर लेते हैं कि हम प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में तो एक पर्टिकुलर हमने एक मास्क क्रिएट किया होता है, बट हम अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ में आगे ना बिल्कुल बिंदास हो जाते हैं. दैट इज ऑल्सो गुड, दैट इज नॉट रॉन्ग, बट उसके अंदर भी आपको एक थ्रेश होल्ड होना चाहिए, एक लाइन होनी चाहिए आपकी. यू शुड नॉट स्टूप बिलो दैट लेवल. ठीक है ना. रिलैक्स डजंट मीन मिसबिहेव. Okay, so this is a very important aspect which you should keep it in mind. It helps in your career growth. Definitely, it will help in your career growth. Then it helps to improve the chances of financial success. Now, what does this mean? This means that you see your personality will definitely take you on a higher places in your career. It will also lead to certain more opportunities in life. This is quite debatable. We can have a discussion on it, but this is one of the points. It is a tool to realize your capabilities and your strength to make you a stronger, happier, and more positive person. Slide number. Grooming and hygiene. In the first thing which comes into personality development is grooming and hygiene. It's a very small point. हमारे को बचपन से हमारे माता पिता ये सब सिखाते हैं, ठीक है ना. बट आप अपने आप से सवाल कीजिए. Question yourself that whether you really follow that, you will get your answer. But grooming and hygiene will be the impression which I am talking about, the lasting impression which I am talking about. आप खुद को ले लीजिए. How do you get impressed with somebody? Somebody who is well dressed, somebody who is well groomed, ठीक है, बाल अच्छे से बने हुए हैं, कपड़े अच्छे से पहने हुए हैं. जो अच्छे कपड़े पहने हुए हैं बेशक वो कॉस्टली ना हो, but they are well worn, they are decent. So that gives you a different look and you get attracted towards that. Next comes your dressing sense. It's not part of grooming. It is slightly different. Now we all know that there are two types of dressing. One is formal dressing, one is casual. We all know. Now, as a student, and if you are appearing for a interview, this is very important. जनरली जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है लाइफ के अंदर वो ये रहा है कि दैट स्टूडेंट्स जनरली डू नॉट पे मच अटेंशन एंड मच they don't take that much interest in their formal dressings. जो आया जैसे आया चल दिया देखेंगे तब की तब देखेंगे ठीक है ना to the tune that I have personally seen that if the age bracket in which you all are right now, whenever you attend a function, your family functions, your social functions, wherever there are social get-togethers, so you find very few youths who are actually properly dressed up. Now we can keep on debating between the freedom of dressing and freedom of everything, old thinking, new thinking, fashion, everything. But when it comes to formal wearing, there are not very big changes through the decades. There are certain set patterns which which define the formal and casual dressings. Okay, so we must follow that. Since this is a very introductory class, I'm not going into much of the details. Each topic is a topic in itself. We can spend half an hour, 1 hour on each topic. But since this is an introductory class, I'm just trying to give you a kind of a show that what exactly contains in personality development, which is a very neglected subject. Small things like I just thought that I'll put across certain things. That what is a dress sense for men? Mind you, this is not casual. This is the formal dressing sense which we are talking about. Because actually speaking, there is no definition for how to dress casually. है ना? Yeah. So for men, it is a light colored shirt which should be teamed with a dark colored trouser or vice versa. It should be or. And if you are wearing a tie, then you see it should not be totally out of the color code which you are wearing. It should be coordinated with the color of the shirt or the color of your jacket or coat, whatever you are wearing. Use of gel in the hair should be limited. If at all you have got those long hair. Because it is not that every day you are going for an interview. This dress code is a formal dress code, but not primarily meant for interview. This is a journal thing. Journal dress sense for men. Journal formal dress sense for men, not exactly for the interview, because there are certain other specifics which come under play when you are appearing for an interview, whether you are going for some kind of it all depends from situation to situation, right? Do not use too much of oil. All those who are fond of using oil, shave regularly. All non-sick people, generally this is a very big observation that in your age bracket, generally when we are in the college or when we are studying in universities, or we are even if when we are in the profession, generally what we do is that we don't shave regularly. So you have those blackish tinge in your face. Those stubbles are not a good sign of a personality. This comes under hygiene. Keep your nails and short and clear, clean. Avoid applying strong perfume oblique scents. You see, your personal choice may be thing, but why do you wear a perfume or a scent? You, of course, you also smell it, but you want to impress the people around you. But if they are disturbed by your perfume or scent, then there is no point of wearing that. Okay, generally it should be very mild. Polish your shoes. Yes, this is a very sore point. Very sore point. We must polish your shoes. Okay. If you go into details, we can keep on speaking about your dress sense, but let's limit it to dress sense for ladies. Wear formal clothes, shirt, trouser, sari and cotton chudidars. Again, I am talking of only the formal way. When you are in a formal gathering, avoid floral prints, polka dots and short skirts. Your makeup should not be very heavy. Try not to leave your hair open if you are not regularly doing that. Generally, your it's always good to have a neat plate or a knot. Of course, ladies are fond of carrying a purse or a bag, so it should be very light if you at all you are attending some party or get together or something. This point I added point. This is not a point otherwise, but when you are going for an interview, you should avoid those kalavas, big kadas, or rings, heavy jewelry. ठीक है ना? When you're going for interview, you should avoid wearing any jewelry. Minimum jewelry which is required. ठीक है ना? अगर अगर हाथ में आपकी रिंग है तो it can be that your engagement ring or marriage ring. कड़ा अगर it is a sign of your religion, then it is okay. Otherwise, no chudis or something like that. Avoid that. ठीक है? Okay, etiquettes. Now, after having, we are going stepwise, okay? After having your dress sense, how do you behave? Now that was outside. How do you behave is the etiquettes is the how you behave from inside, right? What are etiquettes firstly? They are the set of rules. But मैंने साथ में लिख दिया mostly flexible. Mostly flexible means you can change them from situation to situation and place to place, relation to relation, isn't it? That allows us all to function well when presented with a socially challenging situation. Now, this last line, challenging situation, जो मैंने लिखा है वो इसलिए लिखा है because you are expected to behave in a certain manner in a normal circumstances. Those are also part of the etiquettes. But your actual etiquette and your actual persona comes into play when you are in a challenging situation. है ना? We can have a debate on what are challenging situation. कोई भी challenging situation हो जाती है, ठीक है ना? आप रिक्शा से नीचे उतरे, आपने रिक्शा वाले के साथ तू मैं कर ली, ठीक है ना? चैलेंजिंग सिचुएशन है. हाउ डू यू बिहेव इन दैट सेंस? ठीक है ना? I have seen my own friends and colleagues having an unnecessarily fight with a auto driver, taxi driver. Where's the point? There's no point. You can have the same discussion in a very polite and smiling manner, and you will get a similar response from the other, but you will not spoil yourself. He is leaving an impression on you, but you are also leaving an impression on them. That is a very important thing, right? So knowledge of etiquettes prevents us from appearing uncivilized. So we must know what are etiquettes because we live in a civilized world. We are a social animal, so we should know what are etiquettes, right? Just a few things which I have jotted down on what are etiquettes. Journal etiquettes. Now respect others and yourself. I should have written respect yourself and others. Okay. First, you should know how to respect yourself. But now that is very different from ego. Okay. You should respect yourself, but you should also respect others. Right? Do not use abusive language. I'm very sorry. बहुत गंदी आदत है एडवर्ब्स एडजेक्टिव्स डालने की बीच में एक लाइन के अंदर दो चार सुंदर सुंदर शब्द होते हैं कि नहीं होते हैं, है ना? तो वी शुड जनरली ट्राई टू चेंज अवर लैंग्वेज. वी शुड प्रैक्टिस दैट मैं आज आधा घंटे के अंदर जितने शब्द बोलूंगा, जितने सेंटेंस बोलूंगा, उसके अंदर एक भी अपशब्द नहीं आना चाहिए. मैं जब अपशब्द बोल रहा हूं, मैं वो गालियां बोल रहा हूं जो हम नॉर्मल डे टू डे लाइफ में सेंटेंस में निकाल देते हैं. बट नो सर, ma'am, you the kind of place where you are going through, you cannot afford to have that language. Otherwise also, in other words also, हमारे को जो etiquettes हैं उसके अंदर ये शोभा नहीं देता है. देता है? Now certain specifics. Look eye to eye. Okay, now I'm speaking to you, I'm having an eye contact with you. Okay, but ये भी बहुत debatable होता है. You see, बोला often flexible. Point is often flexible. Etiquettes are often flexible. Now, if you are speaking to somebody, you should generally make an eye contact. But that eye contact should not be that long. If you are sitting in a class, if you are sitting with 20 people, so eye contact should be there, but it should not be continuous eye contact. Continuous eye contact for a longer period should be avoided. इसका सबसे बेस्ट एग्जांपल क्या है? अब क्वेश्चन ये आता है कि कितना ज्यादा होना चाहिए, कितना कम होना चाहिए, हु डिफाइंस दैट, व्हाट शुड बी द ड्यूरेशन? इसका सिंपल सा आंसर है, आपकी आंखों के अंदर कोई आंखें डाल के देखेगा तो आपको कब तक कंफर्टेबल लगेगा. ठीक है ना? तो ये चीज बहुत ध्यान में रखनी है. बट इट इज नॉट अ गुड हैबिट इवन विद योर एट योर होम. आज की डेट के अंदर हमारे पास एक बहुत ही बड़ा दुश्मन आ गया है, वो ये है मोबाइल. ठीक है ना? वी जनरली टेंड टू लुक keep on looking into our mobile and keep on talking. हाँ, okay, ठीक है, हो जाएगा, कर लूंगा, हो जाएगा, कर लूंगी. All those. It is not a comfortable sign. ठीक है ना? You don't feel that connect. Okay? Be courteous. Like I told, every aspect, every issue can be handled. It is not necessary that you should raise your voice. It is not necessary that you should be uncourteous. It is not necessary that you should use abusive language to show your strength. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you can show your strength by being polite, by being courteous, but by being firm at your point of subject. Right? Be unselfish. बड़ा मुश्किल है ना? Your good name? ध्रुव. बीच बीच में देखता रहूं यार, किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन तो नहीं है. I'll have to learn all this thing. Okay, be unselfish. When we say be unselfish, you see, you have to look after yourself. There's no doubt about it. But you have to look from others' angles also. ठीक है ना? Now, when we talk of being unselfish, it can be you see, if you are in a house, अपने घर में हो, कोई चीज ऑफर की जा रही है, आपका छोटा भाई है, बड़ी बहन है, कुछ है, you can always share. Okay? But we are generally very selfish. मेरे को मिल जाए, मेरा काम हो जाए. ठीक है ना? Same goes with a bigger aspects of life. The example which I have given you is a very small example of home, but there are very bigger aspects in life. You should be helpful to people. You see, when you want to help somebody, मन्नू की फर्क पैंदा है, ठीक है? This is the journal attitude, right? That's how you think from inside, isn't it? So you should be of helpful nature. Helpful nature and unselfishness goes side by side, right? I have just categorized for males. Avoid staring if you are visiting a female client. When I say client, that generally means in profession you keep on meeting a lot of people. Okay, keep your cool and do not crack cheap jokes. Generally, gents are very, they use very cheap language at times. Okay, so your personality uh, is you are a window of your own personality. Okay, females, the first point, please pardon me but I have to write it, because generally it is my observation that females are in a habit of kusar pusar, giggling, kiki when two ladies are around, so that becomes very irritating at times, you see. Let your behavior always reflect good manners. A very generalized statement. I thought I'll also cover a very interesting topic, that is dining etiquettes. अब आप सोचोगे यार इसमें क्या है, इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है, खाना खा रहे हैं, बचपन से खा रहे हैं, अभी आज तक कोई ऐसा तो है नहीं कि किसी ने तो आज तक हमें टोका नहीं है. नो, यू सी, when you will become a public figure doesn't mean that you have become a judge, तो आप public figure हो गए. Whenever you are socializing with people, okay, even with your family and friends, you can be slightly informal, but you are sitting in a restaurant or a hotel, you are sitting outside in some place which is crowded, so how you behave reflects your mannerism. Okay, don't bother how others are behaving. जनरली एक और इंप्रेशन यही रहता है कि यार हमारे अकेले करने से क्यों होगा, सारे तो रौला पा रहे हैं यहाँ पे, सारे तो शोर मचा रहे हैं. पार्डन, मैं बीच बीच में पंजाबी भी बोल रहा हूँ, तो ऑल दोस पीपल हु डोंट अंडरस्टैंड पंजाबी, बट ये डायलेक्ट्स हैं इस तरह के, तो जनरली ऐसे होता है. डू यू एग्री विद मी? तो वी शुड अवॉइड दैट. तो व्हाट आर द डाइनिंग एटिकेट्स? वील गो थ्रू इट वेरी क्विकली. Very basic point: washing your hands. Learn to use fork, knife and spoon. Now ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important point. आप जो मर्जी कह लो, अंग्रेज चले गए, हमारे पीछे छोड़ गए, that can be one of the things, but आज की डेट के अंदर the world has shrunk. ठीक है, the mannerism has become very open. So all the cuisines we are having, sitting at any place, we are having world class cuisines all over. So whenever you are expected to sit with a client, whenever you are expected to sit with the dignitaries, so you must learn how to use a fork, which is generally हम अपने घरों में या अपने day to day eating habits में, whether we are eating in restaurants or whether we are eating in hotels, we don't follow that. Am I right or wrong? है ना? We don't follow how to use a fork. कभी हम सीधे हाथ से खा लेंगे, कभी हम नूडल्स खाने हैं या कुछ खाने हैं, ठीक है ना? So there is a separate class on that actually. How to use a fork, how many kinds of forks are there, how many kinds of knives are there, how many kinds of spoons are there, how many kinds of glasses are there, ठीक है ना? तो you must have knowledge of all of it, ठीक है ना? तो position of cutlery. नाउ एक क्वार्टर प्लेट है, एक फुल प्लेट है, कटलरी फोक कहाँ होती है, नाइफ कहाँ होता है, स्पून कहाँ होता है, आपने ये चीजें कभी नोटिस नहीं करी होंगी, बट आप कभी भी नेक्स्ट टाइम रेस्टोरेंट में जाएं या नेक्स्ट टाइम होटल में जाएं, तो जो वहां पे प्लेट लगी होती है या जो वेटर लगा रहा होता है, उसको थोड़ा सा नोटिस करना, उसका एक सेट पैटर्न होता है, अगर अच्छे होटल्स और रेस्टोरेंट है, ठीक है ना, बिकॉज इट इज जनरली फॉलोड दैट वे, ठीक है। सो यू मस्ट लर्न द पोजिशन ऑफ कटलरी, यूज ऑफ क्लॉथ नैपकिंस, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, ठीक है ना। आपने देखा होगा अच्छे रेस्टोरेंट्स में जाओ, आप अच्छे होटल्स में जाओ, यू आर ऑफर्ड अ क्लॉथ नैपकिन, बट हम उसका क्या दुर्गति करके आते हैं वो हम सब लोगों को मालूम है, ठीक है ना। सो दिस ऑल्सो कम्स अंडर योर एटिकेट्स एंड योर मैनर्स, दिस शोज योर पर्सनैलिटी, दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ योर एटिकेट्स, ओके। Wait to be served. You see, every time you are being served, it takes time. Probably you are not the first customer. There must be somebody waiting. हमने जाना कहीं नहीं होता, हमारे पास टाइम ही टाइम है, लेकिन हम बेसब्रे बहुत हैं और उस चक्कर में हम बदतमीज हो जाते हैं, isn't it? Am I right? Yeah. Of course, in Indian style, sharing a glass, spoon, drinking bottle, and sharing food from our thalis is not a very good sign. It might be in Western culture, कोई ज़्यादा इतना परवाह नहीं करते, but as far as we are concerned in Indian societies, हम थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा परहेज करते हैं. So we must respect and honor others' feeling. Okay? ऐसे कभी भी नहीं बोलना चाहिए किसी को कि छोड़ यार क्या फर्क पड़ता है, you know, जैसे बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स में चलता है, एक कोक ले लिया वो घूम रहा है, isn't it? It happens. ठीक है, इमरजेंसीज के अंदर आपने किसी का बहुत इमरजेंसी है, वाटर बॉटल ले लिया, तो अब आपके पास कोई और ऑप्शन नहीं है, इमरजेंसी है, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग, बट इन जनरल आई एम टॉकिंग, एंड neither you should do that, and neither, and if somebody is pointing you out, you should respect that. That's what the point is, that you should respect that. आपने पी लिया, आप अपना जो मर्जी करो, लेकिन अगर अपना अगला बंदा मना कर रहा है तो then you must respect that, right? I don't have to say don't make too much noise. We tend to make too much noise while eating. When I say too much noise, it includes both from your own mouth and from the crockery cutlery you are using. ठीक है ना? When you are eating, you are making some obnoxious sounds. Those are not welcome. Those are not a good sign. When you are using cutlery, you're making unnecessarily sound which can be avoided. वो कड़क 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 कड़र कड़र की आवाज आपको अच्छी लगती है जब आपके पड़ोस में कोई कर रहा होता है? नहीं अच्छी लगती ना? तो जनरली आप क्या करते हो, ऐसे करके देखते हैं. एक डाइनिंग हॉल देख लो, एक रेस्टोरेंट में चले जाओ जिसके अंदर सारे टेबल्स फुल है, ठीक है, 50 तरह की आवाजें आ रही होंगी वहां पे. आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ ओनली क्रॉकरी एंड कटलरी. शोर शराबे की बात तो अलग है, ठीक है ना. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट वही है, डोंट मेक, सॉरी ये हो गया, डोंट टॉक विद फूड इन योर माउथ. This is a very bad habit. How much time does it take to complete your plate? Actually speaking, it will not take more than 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, whatever you are eating. So generally what we tend to do is that we tend to talk while we are eating. उसका भी तरीका होता है. You should stop chewing. मतलब जब आपके मुंह में जो कुछ है उसको खत्म करो और फिर बात करो, फिर मुंह में नेक्स्ट डालो. That is the, ठीक है, if you cannot avoid it, there are certain, I am again telling you that there is a separate class on dining, ठीक है, but this is, I just want to give you a overview. Yes, use of cell mobile while eating, it should be avoided unless it is very necessary. मैंने लिखा है कि you must get up and ask to be excused, but that is again I am being very formal in case you know you are sitting in a company which is a profession nature or of official nature. So you should avoid talking in front of them. You should excuse yourself, go aside, talk, and come back. Right? The last point is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you are in social circle or whether you are in your private circle, this is very important. This is a very bad habit I have seen amongst ourselves. हम बिल्कुल परवाह नहीं करते द पर्सन नेक्स्ट टू अस, सामने बैठा है कौन बैठा है, अपना प्लेट उठाइए और चल दिए. ओके, नाउ लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ एन ऑफिस कैंटीन वेयर लंच इज बीइंग सर्व्ड. ऑफिशियल फैक्ट्रीज वगैरह में आजकल यही होता है कि एवरीबडी ईट्स टुगेदर. So if two of you have come together or you have just met it in the canteen, आप दोनों ने प्लेट उठाई, दोनों आके बैठ गए, आप फटाफट खाना खा लेते हो, अगला आदमी धीरे धीरे खाता है. ओके बाय, चलता हूं. Unless you have got a meeting, so there is a way to excuse yourself. Sorry, I've got a meeting. I'll have to excuse myself. This is the proper way. But generally, you should avoid getting up when the other person is who has come with you, sat with you. You should let him finish his food and then you should get up together. Right? Again, now since I have to club all the things in one manner, so I just thought that I'll list out a few good manners and etiquettes which are very important for your overall development and overall your personality. Okay? स्टैंड अप पैनल ये हम सब लोग करते हैं, लेकिन जनरली मैं देख रहा हूं कि आजकल की हमारी जो जनरेशन है वी जनरली अवॉइड कर जाते हैं. वो उसके अंदर देयर कैन बी एन नंबर ऑफ रीजंस, एन नंबर ऑफ एस्पेक्ट्स इन्वॉल्व टू इट. ठीक है, मैं उससे बिल्कुल एग्री करता हूँ. सीनियरिटी, जिनोरिटी, तांगी हो गया, वड्डा है थे, ऑल दोज थिंग्स कम. बट एज अ जर्नल प्रोटोकॉल, it is a very good manner that you just get up for a second. You just get up. Sat Shri Akal ji, Namaste, good morning, good evening. अगर आपसे कोई बड़ा आया, पापा नु मिलना है, मम्मी नु मिलना है, किससे मिलना है, ओके आप बैठ जाओ, ठीक है ना. But it is a very good gesture that you got up and then sat. Right? Shaking hands or saying namaste will be appropriate. We must try and follow our Indian culture rather than saying hi, hello, hello uncle, है ना. बड़ा आजकल बड़ा कॉमन हो गया है, ठीक है ना. और कुछ नहीं समझ में आता है कि इसको अंकल बुलाएं कि आंटी बुलाएं, सॉरी भैया बुलाएं या क्या. तो हम कहते हैं हेलो जी, जी लगा देते हैं साथ में, है ना. नथिंग रॉन्ग इन इट, बट वेयर इज रॉन्ग इन सेइंग नमस्ते? वेयर इज रॉन्ग इन सेइंग इफ यू आर हियर इन पंजाब सत श्री अकाल, rather than following all those Western cultures? Right? That is my point. It is not considered good if men and women greet each other in public by hugging each other. Debatable, that is there. But ठीक है, वेस्टर्नाइज हो रहे हैं हम, बट दिस आर द जर्नल मैनर्स. ठीक है, इवन इफ यू आर लव बर्ड्स, but you should, when it comes to public places, open places, when you are meeting, greeting, greet gracefully and greet respectfully, which is acceptable. Now that all my terminologies are debatable, ठीक है ना. acceptable मैनरिज्म है ना. ये तो हमारे घर में सिखाया ही जाता है कि जब भी कोई आए तो उसको कम से कम एक पानी का गिलास जरूर पूछना चाहिए, ठीक है. बट हमें अपने आप से ये सवाल पूछना है कि हम इसको कितना करते हैं, करते भी हैं कि नहीं करते हैं. अपने आप से सवाल करो, आपको जवाब मिल जाएगा, ठीक है. एटलीस्ट ये एक पॉइंट अपने मन में जरूर रख लो कि आज के दिन के बाद कर्नल सानी आए थे कुछ पढ़ाने के लिए, उन्होंने बताया था, तो हम घर में कोई आएगा उससे एक बार जरूर पूछेंगे पानी पियेंगे आप. एक कोरियर वाला भी आपको आता है आजकल, आप जोमेटो स्विगी करते हैं, आपको वो बेचारा घूम रहा है आपकी सेवा के लिए, आप उसको एक, वो ना ही करेगा, 99% केसेस के अंदर ना ही करेगा. बट इट इज अ गुड जेस्चर, ओके, टू आस्क. आजकल सर्दियां हैं, पूछ लोगे चाय पियोगे, और वो उसने हाँ कर दी तो फिर क्या करेंगे? पिला दो ना भाई, घर में आया है आपके कोई चाय पीने के लिए, भगवान ने भेजा है ना. अभी गर्मियां शुरू हो जाएंगी, पानी तो पूछ ही सकते हैं ना, है ना. आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ, आई एम नॉट ओनली टॉकिंग ऑफ द गेस्ट्स. उनको तो पूछ ही लोगे तुम नहीं पूछोगे, आपके पेरेंट्स पूछ लेंगे, आपके सिबलिंग्स पूछ लेंगे. यू मस्ट आस्क ऑल दोज पीपल हु सर्व यू, राइट. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, यू कैन अवॉइड इफ यू आर होस्टिंग अ सोशल इवेंट एट होम. थोड़ा सा तारीफ कर देनी चाहिए, ठीक है ना. Standing tall with your hands on your hips is perceived as aggressive. I think I don't have to tell you this. जनरली क्या होता है, हमें पता नहीं लगता, हम ऐसे करके ना ऐसे करके बातें करना शुरू कर देते हैं. हाँ ठीक है, अच्छा चल दास तू की करना है ना. Am I right? So this is our general habit, especially in males, है ना. And especially if we are talking so-called perceived lower strata people, ठीक है ना. तो हमको जनरली जो है, हम या तो ऐसे कर लेंगे और या ऐसे कर लेंगे. This is not a part of good mannerism. Okay. Whistling in public, whistling in any case is bad etiquette. Stand when the national anthem of any country is playing, not only your own country, when any country is playing. Show respect to all flags and religious symbols. Okay, we are a secular state, but we should not go overboard for secularism also. But at the same time, we should respect all religions. We should respect all religious signs. We should respect all flags. Okay. This point I have specifically kept because these days you see a lot of incidents happening where you have seen disrespect being given to religious and country flags, religious and national, you can say, symbols, right? You all understand, you're all educated people. Do not comment on personal appearances or clothes in a negative way. If you cannot say something complimentary, do not say anything at all. ठीक है. Everybody has got, अगर इतना सब कुछ पढ़ने के बाद भी आपने वैसे ही ड्रेसअप करना है तो उसको कर लेने दो. राइट, ठीक है ना. जो जैसा ड्रेसअप होता है उसको हो लेने दो. Now this is a very important but very, it's actually a very serious issue, attitude. Now there are two kinds of attitude. In fact, there are three kinds of attitude. एक तो attitude वो होता है जो हम normal sense में day to day life में use करते हैं. बंदे में बड़ा attitude है यार, है ना. I'm not talking of that attitude. We can have another discussion on that. But there are two kinds of attitude. One is positive attitude, one is negative attitude. Okay. Now, firstly, what is attitude? It is a psychological situation with relation to a way of thinking, or how do you live, or how do you, your own being. That is attitude. You can have a positive attitude, you can have a negative attitude. Positive attitude indicates a way of thinking that is mainly positive and optimistic. कैसे? या तो वो hopeful होगा. Never lose hope. कुछ हो जाता है बुरा, चलो यार अब जो हो गया ठीक है, देखेंगे. Move forward. Bright. What do you mean by bright? Always think positive. है ना, सब कुछ अच्छा होगा. ठीक है. Cheerful. Try and remain happy in all circumstances. हो गया कोई बात नहीं, शांत. Right? Energetic and confident. Energetic रहो हर समय. मरे से मत रहो. और ठीक है यार, अच्छा सुन लेंगे. I'm trying to make impressions. Don't laugh at me. Trying to say that actually अगर आपने देखा होगा एक क्लास में 20 बंदे होते हैं तो उसके अंदर को ढीले ढाले से होते हैं बिल्कुल. ठीक है ना. चलेंगे भी तो ऐसे लग रहा था कि इनको मल्टीविटामिन देना पड़ेगा. Isn't it? So point is that confident. Why should you lack confidence? अच्छे घर से आ रहे हो यार, पढ़े लिखे हो, यहां तक पहुंच गए हो, ट्रेनिंग ले रहे हो, सब कुछ ले रहे हो, तो you should be confident, isn't it? Now let's talk about the opposite of it. Negative attitude is mainly pessimistic. Now what are the things? Doubtful. हर समय डाउट ही रहना है. पता नहीं यार होगा कि नहीं होगा यार. मैं छोटी छोटी चीजों के अंदर डाउटफुल हो जाते हैं. घर से निकलेंगे, पता नहीं बस मिलेगी कि नहीं मिलेगी, पता नहीं पार्किंग मिलेगी कि नहीं मिलेगी. Everything negative. You attract what you think. There is a law of attraction also. Do you know that? If you people study this law of attraction, you attract what you think. Okay, so don't be doubtful, negative, or distrustful. Do not be emotional and react negatively. Being emotional is good, but reacting on it negatively is wrong. Think before you speak. जनरली हमारा क्या होता है कि हमारे एक रिफ्लेक्सेस होते हैं. हमारे रिफ्लेक्सेस में हम क्या सोचते हैं कि इमीडिएटली जो है ना, किसी ने कुछ बोला, ठक करके उसका जवाब देते हैं. Should avoid that. When I say avoid that, that doesn't mean कि वो सोचने लग जाओ मैंने इसका जवाब क्या देना है. No, you will be surprised to know the chip which is working inside. हमारा जो प्रोसेसर है वो बहुत फास्ट चलता है. All you have to take is 1 or 2 breath inside. इतना टाइम बस. इतने टाइम के अंदर आपका प्रोसेसर आपको जवाब दे देगा कि क्या बोलना है. बट जनरली हम इतना भी इंतजार नहीं करते हैं. राइट? Maintain a professional behavior. We have to, every profession have got a different kind of behaviors and etiquettes. So we'll have to go by the profession which we are in, the kind of company we live in. According to that, we have to adjust ourselves. Okay, of course, this is a repetition. A very important aspect. I'm running out of time, but let me take another 2-3 minutes. Communication. This is a very important aspect. Firstly, what is communication? Transfer of information from one to another in any of the following form, leading to an understanding of what is required. Now अगर हम इसको तोड़ें तो इसके अंदर आएगा what is communication. Communication is transfer of information. सबसे पहले तो एक information transfer होनी चाहिए from one to another. एक से दूसरे को होनी चाहिए. दूसरा can be a group of people or a single person. In any of the following form, it can be in any of the following form: speech, gestures, writing. Right? Leading to an understanding of what is required. Okay? So, how can you communicate? By speech, by gestures, and by writing. Okay, let's see. In speech or something, we can say verbal communication. Now, there are two kinds of communication. One is verbal, one is non-verbal. Right? Verbal communication. Now, when you want to communicate to somebody, you must know what is the objective of a conversation. कहना क्या चाहते हो भाई? सुना है ना? So you should be very clear what you want to express. How you express is a different thing. But what you want to express, what do you want to communicate, what do you want the information to be transferred from me to you, right? Be careful not to invade people's space. Don't stand too close to a person while talking. Okay? That is physical. Mentally, do not ask so many questions. Do not try to invade into his personal life. अच्छा वो फिर क्या हुआ? अच्छा नहीं वो कौन था? अच्छा वो कैसे? अच्छा वो कैसे? Don't gossip. There's no required. That is his personal life. That is his personal space. Stay there. Right? Listen, but retain your own ideas. It is not necessary that you have to, हमेशा उसके साथ बहस ही करनी है कि नहीं नहीं यार ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है. उसके अपने आइडियाज हैं, आपके अपने आइडियाज हैं. You should know, you cannot just keep on arguing with everybody. ठीक है, फ्रेंड है, आप उसके साथ, फ्रेंड के साथ भी, पेरेंट्स के साथ भी, सिबलिंग्स के साथ भी, अप टू अ पॉइंट उनकी सुनो और अपनी बोलो, उसके बाद चुप हो जाओ. ठीक है? जितना चुप रहोगे उतना सीखोगे, उतना अगले बंदे को समझोगे. कहां पे था? ओके. प्रिपेयर इन एडवांस फॉर फॉर्मल ओकेजन्स. दिस इज व्हाट आई स्टेटेड इन द वेरी बिगनिंग. जनरली हम क्या करते हैं कि जैसे जिस क्लास को आप अटेंड कर रहे हैं, ऐसे जब सिचुएशंस होती हैं तो हम पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट को और एटिकेट्स को हम एंड में छोड़ देते हैं, ठीक है ना। यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर इन एडवांस, ठीक है। आपने इंटरव्यू के लिए जाना है, लेट्स कम टू द स्पेसिफिक। आपने इंटरव्यू के लिए जाना है, आपका पहले दिन से दिमाग बड़ा क्लियर होना चाहिए कि मैं उस दिन पहन के क्या जाऊंगा या जाऊंगी, और उस दिन जो पहन के जाऊंगा या जाऊंगी उसको आपने पहनना है, तैयारी करनी है, कंफर्टेबल होना है। साड़ी पहनी नहीं कभी, यहां इंस्टीट्यूट में बोल दिया जी साड़ी पहन के जानी है, उस दिन अनकंफर्टेबल रहो तो क्या फायदा होगा। तो इंस्टीट्यूट में भी साड़ी पहन के आओ ना, रोज ना पहन के आओ, कम से कम 8-10 दिन पहनो, ठीक है। जेंट्स को बोल दिया जी नहीं कोट पैंट पहन के जाना है, ठीक है। वो एक आया था अपने दादाजी का पहन के, आशीर्वाद था जी, वो इतना ढीला है, नहीं सूट करेगा आपको। आप अपना पैंट कोट सिलवाइए, आर्थिक क्षमता नहीं है तो कुछ करना पड़ेगा, आपको मांगना पड़ेगा। लेकिन जब मांगना ही है तो फिर वो 10 दिन के लिए मांग लो ना, 2 महीने के लिए मांग लो ना, तैयारी करो। डोंट ट्राई टू मेक इट फॉर दैट डे ओनली। Do not be too fast while speaking. This is a very important point on your day to day life. You will find that you should speak slowly. When I say slowly, the way I am speaking right now, the speed, not the sound, of course, वो भी नीचे होनी चाहिए, लेकिन जो स्पीड होनी चाहिए आपके बोलने की, कई लोगों को ना बड़ी जल्दी होती है बात करने की, उस अब आपका ब्रेन तो प्रोसेसिंग उतना ही करेगा ना। आई एम टेलिंग यू, योर ब्रेन इज वेरी फास्ट। अगर आप थोड़ी सी स्पीड अपने बातचीत की कम कर लोगे, यू विल सी दैट आपका ब्रेन के अंदर आपके आइडियाज बहुत सारे आ रहे हैं, आपको क्या बोलना है, बोलना भी है कि नहीं बोलना है, ये सारे प्लस माइनस आप कैलकुलेशन हो रही है वहां पे। लेकिन अगर आप फास्ट बोलोगे ये कैलकुलेशन मिस हो जाती है, राइट। बी सिंपल, ऑडिबल एंड क्लियर इन योर स्पीच। व्हेन आई से सिंपल, यू शुड नो whom you are talking, ओके। अभी मैं उस दिन एक जगह बैठा हुआ था, मेरे ख्याल से 3 या 4 साल की बच्ची होगी, उसको कोई पढ़ा रहा था घर में ट्यूशन। तो बेटा ये जहां जहां मैंने टिक कर दिया है ना, इसको जो है आपने घर में करके आना है। अब उस बच्ची को ये नहीं पता टिक का मतलब क्या होता है। पहले आप उसको ये तो समझाओ कि ये जो मैंने यहाँ पे टिक किए है, टिक का मतलब ये होता है। तो बी वेरी सिंपल, you should know communication, whether the other person is understanding or not. That's very important. Audible, neither too loud not too slow, and clear in your speech. You should be very clear what you want to convey, the basics of communication. Again, use simple words with correct grammar. Okay, simple words use करो, लोगों को impress करने की कोई खास जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है। जनरली द अगर अगर आपने ऐसा शब्द बोल दिया जो अगले को समझ में नहीं आया, तो आपने क्या इंप्रेशन डाला, उसको खुद ही गिल्टी फीलिंग होगी, यार ये पता नहीं क्या बोल गया, पता नहीं यार क्या है ना। Now let's come to the quickly to the non-verbal communication. What is body language? That is a very important thing. Now that's what I'm saying na, these kind of things cannot be done in one class. So you'll have to study more of it. आप अपने आप स्टडी करो, हमारे पास आओ, कुछ करो, लेकिन but we will do it. Okay, we must understand that what is body language. How do you sit in a class? How do you sit in a house? How do you sit in a restaurant? How do you sit with somebody? How do you sit in front of an interviewer? Okay. How do you stand? How do you sleep? How do you eat? Everything forms part of your personality, isn't it? Yes, that's what. How do you walk? Yes, very good point. How do you walk? Isn't it? Your closeness to and the space between you and the other people varies in different situations. I've already given a hint, but ज्यादा पास नहीं होना चाहिए, ज्यादा दूर नहीं होना चाहिए। जनरली कई लोगों की बात होती है ना, बिल्कुल इतनी पास आके बात करेंगे, उनको पता नहीं लगता, उनकी आदत हो चुकी है, मतलब वो मुंह की स्मेल भी आपको आ रही है। Am I right? Facial expressions change as per your mood. So this is part of your non-verbal communication. That what are your facial expressions? आप खुश हो, आपके फेस के एक्सप्रेशंस अलग आएंगे। रोने वाले हो तो पता लग ही जाता है कि बस अब ये अब निकले आंसू, है ना। इसी तरह से अगर आप गुस्से में हैं, कैसे हैं, सो दीज आर नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन टेक्निक्स। यू मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड देम फॉर यू ऑल्सो एंड फॉर रीडिंग द अदर पर्सन's फेस, राइट। योर आईज, आंखों के बारे में जितना मर्जी बोलते रहो, बट आईज आर द विंडोज ऑफ योर ओन पर्सनालिटी। ओके। जेस्चर्स, बहुत ज्यादा जेस्चर्स भी अच्छे नहीं होते हैं, और बिल्कुल मूर्ति की तरह भी नहीं बैठना होता है, ठीक है ना। सो यू हैव टू स्ट्राइक अ बैलेंस बिटवीन देम, and there are certain positive gestures you can read a lot about from the gesture of other person. Okay. Breathing, like we can keep on discussing these points for a long time. I think it's already more than 1 hour. It's more than 1 hour, but we can we can learn more on these subjects. This is my last slide, but this actually summarizes your personality. Okay. This slide may be a very, very simple slide, but let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the very, very important message. Actions speak louder than words. How actions के अंदर सब कुछ आ गया. Verbal communication, non-verbal communication, especially non-verbal communication. How are you sitting? How are you standing? How are you communicating? What are you attentive, non-attentive? आप मोबाइल की तरफ देख के बात कर रहे हैं, वो कोई बोली जा रहा, हाँ हूं करी जा रहे हैं, क्या करी जा रहे हैं, ऑल दोज थिंग्स मैटर. So that's all for today. For all those who are online, I hope you must have got an idea of what all comes into picture when we are talking about personality development. So if all those people who are online, if you have got any question, you can shoot, you can speak also, and you can type also. I'll try to answer. Yeah, anybody? Hitakshi, you are welcome. Ankesh Dubey. Mehak. The question is that what should we practice to enhance our personality? Mehak, this is what the whole complete lecture was all about. There are certain points. You see, that's what I said, that it is not a single thing you should focus on. It is a complete package. It is a complete package when I say that how you sit, how you stand, what you wear, how you speak, what is your language, how good is your communication skills. If you're speaking in Hindi, how good is your Hindi, how fast you speak. So these are all a set, it is a package. Personality cannot be defined by one or two or three traits. It is a package. You have to learn each and everything. You have to develop yourself. Fortunately, personality can be developed. It is of course engraved from your birth, from your teachings of your parents, your nears and dears, your schooling. But now that is past. Now you are out of that stage. Now you have to learn the finer techniques of personality development. So all those factors, I just gave you an idea that what exactly encompasses personality development. There are soft skills, there are personality development. It is a subject in itself. So the idea was to give you a concise idea so that you know where do you have to prepare yourself. If you need some kind of special coaching, you want to improve upon certain things, that is your decision. You have to take your own decision, right? Anybody else? Otherwise, from my side, it's finished. Thank you, Mehak. Thank you. Anything you would like to ask, Dhruv? Huh? Okay. Thank you, everybody.